Hi, Dan from Cloudsmith here. In this video, we're going to look at how quickly and easily you can get started with a private Cloudsmith repository to store and distribute your Ruby gems. I've logged into my Cloudsmith account and I have an examples repo here that we will use for this demo. This repository contains example packages of each format that we support, and all Cloudsmith repositories are fully multi-format. Here you can see that I have my Debian packages alongside my Docker images and NPM packages. This gives you the ability to control access and permissions from one central location, and it gives you a lot of flexibility in that you could structure your repositories by environment, like dev, staging or production, or even by product or teams. I have another video that talks about this in more detail. It's linked in the description. So let's get started by uploading an example Ruby gem into this repository. We can see how to do this by clicking Upload and selecting the package type Ruby. We can just go ahead and upload our Ruby gem here using this form, but we can also click here to see the documentation for the other supported upload methods. As I just said, we can use the web UI to upload this Ruby gem, but we could also upload it via the Cloudsmith CLI using the Cloudsmith push Ruby command or via the Cloudsmith API, and we provide examples here for the API calls you'd need to make. But let's look at the instructions for the native Ruby tooling. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is add our Cloudsmith API key to our gem credentials file. I've already added this, but let's just take a look to see. If we open our credentials file, we can see my Cloudsmith API key. That's all we need to authenticate in order to push a package. If we go back to check the upload instructions again, we can see that the command to upload this package is gem push with our package name and the URI for my Cloudsmith repository. Let's go back to the terminal and try that out. I have a simple Ruby example here. It just prints a message on screen. Let's build it into a Ruby gem. The gem spec file defines things like the name of the gem, the version, the summary and description, and what's in the gem. This is a fairly minimal example of a gem spec file, but you can find a link to the full reference in the description below. Now to build this example into a Ruby gem, we just use the gem build command. We can then use the gem push command with our repository URI to upload the package to Cloudsmith. That looks like it was successful. Let's go and see how that looks in our repository now. Here we can see the Ruby gem that we just pushed, version 0.0.1. And if we click on the package name, we can see all the metadata associated with the package, including the package checksums, GPG key, and the details processed from the gem spec. We can view the package README if it has one. We can see a list of files contained within the package. We can view any older or newer versions of this package, a log of events for the package, and also some usage statistics, which are blank of course, as we just pushed this package and we haven't pulled and installed it yet. Finally, we can see the setup and installation instructions. Now we can simply install this Ruby gem with the gem install command, and we can specify the Cloudsmith repository directly along with the command for convenience. But we can also check the repository setup instructions to see the setup details for Bundler and how to add the repository with the Ruby CLI with the gem sources add command. But to keep things quick, we will just go back to the install instructions and copy the gem install command that directly specifies the source repository. First, let's just use the interactive Ruby interpreter to check if we have installed this Ruby gem already. And we can do this with a quick require hello. Okay, that failed. Good. That's correct, as we haven't yet pulled and installed this yet. So let's exit the interpreter and run the gem install command that we copied from our Cloudsmith install instructions. That worked. We have successfully installed the Ruby gem from our Cloudsmith repository. So now let's jump back into the interactive Ruby interpreter and try our require hello again. That looks good this time. And if we now try to execute the hi method that this Ruby gem contains, that works, and we can see our message. Hello world, a Ruby gem from Cloudsmith. I hope that this short video demonstrates how easy it is to get started with your own repository for your Ruby gems on Cloudsmith. We built a Ruby gem, pushed it to our Cloudsmith repository, and then pulled and installed it, and all in just a few minutes. If you'd like to find out more, just go to cloudsmith.com where you can sign up for your free trial. And remember, to be awesome and automate everything.